This is San Diego News Daily.
Hello and welcome to San Diego News Daily. I'm Michelle Medina. No Kings Day rallies on Saturday drew 7 million people nationwide, according to the No Kings Coalition. People took to the streets, taking a stand against the president's policies. An estimated 25,000 people marched in downtown San Diego, but that is less than half of the 70,000 who marched earlier this year. It was one of at least 16 rallies right here in the county. NBC 7 political reporter Joey Savchek was at the downtown event to get a better understanding of why people wanted to march.
I spoke to some folks who are federal workers who are just distraught. They don't know what comes next. They are worried about being laid off. They're worried about being furloughed. They are worried about retribution for being here today, which is why they didn't want to go on camera. But they really wanted me to communicate this message of fear that is driving them to be out here today, along with other members of the community, standing up, exercising their First Amendment right to peacefully protest. Little Isabella is just starting to raise her voice, but her parents hope the toddler is learning early to speak up for what she believes in.
We're here to be loud. We're here to be seen.
We do not stay quiet. We do not stay quiet.
Yeah.
And we will continue using our voice.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
They marched back in June, but say the stakes feel higher Saturday after months of escalating ICE enforcement, the deployment of federal troops in Democratic-run cities, and further funding cuts.
As you can see, every color of people are out here as one, as together, as one nation. This is our country.
The family of three joining tens of thousands across San Diego County, from downtown to Carlsbad all the way to Borrego Springs during this second round of No Kings protests. Saturday morning stayed peaceful, at times even joyful, others emotional.
I feel proud. I feel proud to be an American. I feel proud to be Mexican American. And that's what we are, and we will always be here, no matter what.
California Congressman Scott Peters joining the chorus of calls for change.
I'm here as a participant. This is the people's moment, and it's not a time for me to make a speech, but I want to be part of it, and because I am really very frustrated. I think like a lot of people are.
And it's not just No Kings. People are also encouraging folks to vote yes on Prop 50 on November 4th.
The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses,
It's still the greatest democracy in the history of the world, but only if we fight for it.
This is what democracy looks like.
I am marching today for my grandchildren's tomorrow. Never thought that it would ever get like this.
This is what democracy looks like.
Isabella's parents hope she'll grow up in a world where she doesn't need a megaphone to know she's being heard.
She doesn't understand right now, but she will one day, and I hope that we'll make her proud. And for her to know that mom and dad will always stand up.
Joey Savchek, NBC 7.
Meantime, another rally took place outside Camp Pendleton's main gate in Oceanside. That's where Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth celebrated the Marine Corps' 250th birthday. Inside the base, the day started with songs and stories about the Marine Corps' founding. Both made speeches to the Marines. There were also flyovers and live weapons demonstrations. The U.S. Marine Corps' official birthday is November the 10th. A section of Interstate 5 is back open after the state shut it down, citing safety concerns from that event. The closure stretched from Harbor Drive to Basilone Road, but earlier this week, the governor said the freeway would likely remain open, but he reversed course yesterday morning. In a statement, he says his decision was prompted by a change of plans by the White House. He says the Trump administration informed his office Friday it would be firing live artillery rounds over the freeway. He claimed the president was putting his ego over responsibility, calling it a disregard for public safety. But San Diego Congressman Darrell Issa fired back on social media. The Republican representative, in part, called the governor's actions a spiteful publicity stunt to ruin the occasion. Fire crews made quick work of a brush fire that shut down part of State Route 125. Those flames started yesterday afternoon. All lanes near the 54 intersection were closed, but they reopened about a half hour later. No word on a cause of that fire. First, it was San Diego. Now changes are coming to paid parking in La Mesa. The City Council voted to raise the fees on parking meters in downtown La Mesa. Next year, it will cost $1.50 an hour to park. That is up from the 50 to 75-cent fees in place right now. City leaders say the money will go towards La Mesa's parking fund, but some people say they're okay with the increase because it's not as expensive as other areas like downtown San Diego.
If it goes for the improvement of the village of La Mesa and for La Mesa, I'm all for it because it's still the cheapest deal in town. Downtown San Diego is way more than that, and everywhere else is. So, I mean, sometimes, change is good, and, what can I say? Everything's raising.
City leaders say parking meters will still operate from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. every day except for holidays and Sundays. The fee increase will take effect on January the 1st. Meteorologist Brooke Martell has your forecast right after this.
You count on deeper investigations.
Why didn't you just let her go?
I'm trying to keep our family together.
You count on getting a response. You count on a committed team looking out for you.
A lot of our small business vendors tell me that you owe them quite a bit of money.
In 2 languages.
¿Por qué piensa que ellos no hacen más?
You count on results.
And they said, you have your money back.
And getting answers.
Do you still feel let down?
It's a slap in the face.
This is NBC 7 and Telemundo 20 investigates and responds. Only on NBC 7 and Telemundo 20.
Here's a look at your local weather headlines. Cool and clear this morning. We had some lows from the 30s over our mountain communities, but heading into this afternoon, it's going to be a warm one. Those temperatures trending above the seasonal average. And as we get into this upcoming week, we are cooling down, especially by Wednesday. So we'll take a look at those daytime highs coming up. But here's a look at the hourly forecast for the coastline, right around those low 70s by 10 o'clock, getting into the mid 70s. If you have the beach day planned, I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. You'll have steady winds going from about 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead to about 5, 6 o'clock tonight, those temperatures start to taper. We'll have some 60s back in the forecast in the overnight hours, but daytime highs, especially for downtown, right around 80 degrees today, 85 for Poway. We do have 85 for Ramona, 87 for El Cajon, and close to the mid 70s and upper 70s for your mountain communities. Back to the 90s for the desert region, but like I said, we'll be cooling down as we come into about Tuesday, Wednesday of this upcoming week. For tonight's forecast, this is a look at the mountain communities here. You can see those temperatures back to those low to upper 40s. We'll have some 50s for the desert region and 40s and 50s for the valleys, some 50s for the coastal area. And like I mentioned, those changes on the way for this upcoming week, thanks to this low pressure system. So what does that mean for us? Cooler and cloudier weather back as we go into about midweek on Wednesday. I wanted to show you the rainfall accumulation for the month of October so far, because for San Diego International Airport, we're just under a ½ an inch, and that's actually our October normal. So we're off to a pretty decent start, especially after such a dry winter and spring season this year. So our normal for October through December 31st is just under 3 inches, and then the average yearly rainfall is just under 10. So quite a ways off from that, but again, keeping track of what we can expect and what we've accumulated so far. 10-day forecast looks like this: low 70s by Wednesday for the coast. Same thing will go for your inland valley communities. We'll warm up a little bit by Thursday, and that warming trend takes us through the start of the upcoming weekend before we cool down just a little bit by about a week from today on Sunday. For the mountain communities, we're getting back into those upper 50s by Wednesday, so really tapering. You can see by Tuesday we'll still have some 70s, and then we drop off to those 50s by Wednesday. For the desert region, we can also see that similar trend taking place: upper 80s Tuesday, upper 70s by midweek, and then just gradually warming up through the end of this upcoming week. Nichelle.
All right, Brooke, thank you. TwitchCon is in full swing at the convention center this weekend, and last night, did you catch it? They lit up the sky with this pretty cool drone show. All of the drones made showed off displays from the new Angry Birds 2 video game. The 4-day convention highlights the live streaming platform Twitch, used by many to live stream everything from video games to cooking with interactive audiences. The convention ends today. There is more coverage you can on at NBC7.com. You can always find us on your Roku or Samsung Smart TV app. That'll do it for us. I'm Nichelle Medina.